and can't wait to be by your side tomorrow.
Hello. I'm Grace. I've been Katie's roommate for the past couple years. I'm reading off of my phone just to make sure I don't forget any important details. Katie did it in her vows, so I thought I'd follow the trend, right? So I think as her roommate, I really love being able to watch Jacob and Katie get to know each other better, right, from swiping right on Bumble to get to know each other better and expecting the rumble of his car, knowing it's him, right? His old farm truck. And just watching them get engaged and fall in love and get married is really fun to be there the whole time. One of my favorite memories was their first date. Because I feel like I played a little bit of an important role in that. The night they first met, they went to George's, right? And it was going really well. Jacob's cute, and they're having fun, and he's smart, and he's really nice. And everything was great, right? Until I get a text from Katie that she's going to Jacob's house to go and meet the puppies. And I thought, like, this is a ploy. Like, the puppies, right? Jacob's farm, going to see the puppies. So, I advised her against it really quickly, and she didn't listen. And so I said, okay, well, I at least need text updates, right? Which she sent a thumbs up, right? And so I'm like waiting by the phone. I'm in for the night and like sweating, just watching Katie's location. She's getting further and further away from the areas of Waco I know. And I text her, check in, nothing. And then 10 minutes later I check in again, nothing. And so I told her, I was like, Katie, I'm so sorry, but I'm really worried. I'm gonna go ahead and just drive by. I won't come inside, but I'm gonna drive by. I'm getting worried. And so I'm like getting my keys, about to get into the car, and Katie said, please don't drive by. If I leave please don't drive by. It's going well. And that's why I didn't text you. Everything's fine. We're having a lot of fun. And she was right to text you. She was right to trust you. And we trust you and love you so much. And it's been so much fun to watch you guys through this journey and to be here with you today. I'm so excited and so thankful to be able to be here and be able to watch it happen. So thank you so much.
Hello, everybody. I'm Parker, Jacob's best man. It's been difficult for me to narrow down the stories. But I think I prefer to focus, maybe I might throw a few in here and there, but I really prefer to focus on who Jacob and Katie are as people, because we crack jokes and we laugh and drink and have a good time, but marriage is one of the biggest decisions you can make, and it's something to be celebrated when it's between two people who are impeccable people and who have a lot of integrity and who really treat each other the way I would want someone to treat my brother or sister. And it means a lot for me just to be able to watch you guys walk together and grow together. But Jacob and I met real quick. Actually, that's about as far as my memory goes. I feel like my first memory is meeting Jacob.
Beer will do that
Beer will do that too. I was homeschooled. I was kind of an awkward kid. And I went to Baylor and I was thinking, I gotta get out there, man, I gotta meet some people and make some friends. And so I went to a Rush event at Baylor, and this guy came up to me, and he was just real friendly, and he seemed super down to earth, but like, he had some grit to him, you know? Like he was a perfect combination of both. And his name happened to be Jacob Wilson. And, you know, pretty soon we just started hanging out all the time. I can't even say, you know, I can't even pinpoint exactly what it was specifically with both of us, but we just hit it off. I thought this guy's down to earth, he's just a great guy. And how could I ever find another human being that is just so down to earth and cares for me like this guy does? We just met. So, you're really lucky. And throughout all of college, he was there for me, and since then he's been there for me too. I remember we started hanging out after that event all the time, and I'd say, hey, you know, we study during the week, and then I would say, you know, where are we going on? Where are we going tonight? Where are we going tonight? I would always hang out with Jacob because I knew that he was a friend I could rely on, and because I thought he genuinely cared about me, and we just had a doggone good time together. Yes, and I'll never forget those memories we made, and I'll never forget also. It was only probably about the 5th or 6th time we hung out. I had a few too many, which I'm not going to do this weekend. And Jacob, though, you know, he's always been, he's more reasonable than me. And he said, you know, I would get the original, not the spicy chicken if I were you. I went with the spicy chicken. And just today, for nostalgia, I drove by and I drove into the North Village parking garage. You guys know North Village. You know North Village. I don't think any of us live there because we're not that silly, I guess. But, you know, I drove there just for nostalgia, and I remember walking up there with Jacob, just gorging this spicy chicken sandwich. And I still never forget that advice. You know, you told me to be a little more responsible and a little more careful, and I didn't listen. Now look where I am and look where you are. Yeah. Also, you know, life has its ups and downs, right? Freshman year is really fun, but sometimes things get less cool as life begins to unfold. And I lost some people that were really close to me, ended up losing a family member, and it was really difficult for me. And it's like I couldn't keep Jacob. I wanted just to be alone, but he wouldn't allow me to. He wouldn't allow me to shut myself in. He would always come out and say, "Hey, man, like, I know you're not doing well. It's obvious." You know, and he would always take me and pull me up out of that. And I just always remember saying to myself and thinking how much I'll appreciate and love this guy for the rest of my days on planet Earth, because he's just one of those people that goes above and beyond what most people do. And that's been evident in his performance in the military so far, and certainly in his relationship with Katie, who I didn't get to know Katie real well early on. I was kind of, you know, graduating and going off and doing my own thing. But whenever I would come back and visit Jacob, I got to meet Katie finally. And I just remember watching their chemistry and watching them grow together. And a lot of times, we've all had friends. We all have friends, you know. I just remember thinking, they are doing the relationship the way it should be done. They are investing in each other for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons. And more than anything else, I always remember feeling like you guys had some sort of like spiritual connection, and also that you continually lived your life in a way that you wanted to benefit the other person. something I've never done. Something I feel like most of my friends haven't done, even my married friends. And so it's really inspiring to see that. And I admire the way you talked about your students, and I love the way you treat Jacob, who's been my best friend for years. I'm gonna get emotional. No, I'm not. I admire the way you treat him, and I admire the way you treat your students and talk about them. Jacob, I love you. Always have, always will. And there's nobody I respect anymore. So, you know, last thing I can say is that you guys are a serious inspiration to me. And I guess the last thought is, you know, whenever I go to a wedding, I always hear my two grandparents. My grandmother said, "There's no more important decision you'll make in your life than where you go to church and who you marry." And my grandfather said, "The only two things worth in life worth the doggone are what you do for a living and who you marry." So, you know, two very loving people that love each other with very different ideas, but those both have the same thing in common. And that's what we're here to celebrate. Jacob, one of the finest human beings I know, who would lay down his life for his country, his friend, or even a stranger. And Katie, who's one of the most beautiful, special people I've known, and